Okay, so this is Baruch 4 and 6, and it says, "Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies." Alright, so it's just a precept in the last verse I had read. Okay, but it was our fault and our wrongdoings as to why we're living in the conditions that we are today. Alright, subject to payments, last hired, first fired, and all Israelites can attest to that, man. You know what? It might not even be that, man. All you Israelites are under the curses. Let's just put it that way. Every single one of you, man. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor, man. All of you have a lot. And all of you are going through the curses, man. It's a curse to not know you're Israelite. How about that? That's a curse. It's a curse to know that you're not. To not know that you're a prince of the power, man. So continuing on, it says, "For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils." Alright, it was devils. Devils mean deceivers, man. False gods. Alright? And not to Yahweh. Ye have forgotten the everlasting Yahweh that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of Yahweh coming upon you, she said, "Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, Yahweh hath brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them." It says, "With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning." So that's what we are going right now. That's what happened to our people, man. Okay, the Most High doing right by us because we were doing right by Him, and then we felt that we didn't need Him. Afterwards, we were too good for that. We can go off and do whatever we think was right, when the Most High already had it written onto what we needed to do, what was right. Just keep the law, statutes, commandments, and live. That's really what the Most High wanted you to do. That's it. So next precept, Slovakia. Alright, I'm starting at Ezekiel 16:27. It says, "Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee." Alright? These are all the other nations, the so-called white man, the Arabs, alright, the Africans, the so-called the Chinese. Alright, all these other nations, man. East Indians, okay? The daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Okay, they are so-called Africans, man. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unstable. Yeah, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Alright? So we're out here going off onto the philosophies of these other nations, and we're still not satisfied in the wickedness that we're taking part in, man. We wanted to do more wickedness. That's how wicked Jake is, man. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart, saith the Lord Yahweh, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman. And that's what he's referring to in the whole nation of Israel, starting with the men. Alright? Because a whore is going to go into all men. Right? Or they're going to allow all men to deal with it. Same way how Israel is allowing all these other nations to put philosophies in our mind, and we're accepting it, even though we shouldn't be. And the Most High looks at the nation of Israel as his wife, man. So of course he's looking at us like whores, man. Alright, fornication and all that stuff. But this is spiritual whoredom. Okay, not a physical. It says, in that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street, and hast not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest hire, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. You know? So of course the Most High is going to want to punish us, man. So that in turn ends up leading for you to deal with your reality, man. Deal with your reality, man. You know, deal with the judgment that you did. Accept that you were your forefathers in the past, and even though you had obviously you had forefathers before that as well. Accept that you went off, man. Because reincarnation is in the Bible, man. Alright? But understand that you have a kingdom that's coming for you, man. That's coming. And then you'll be ruling. You know, that's the beauty of it all. Stay down till you come up, man. The Most High is gonna redeem Israel, man. But I'm gonna get this quick precept. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh, to observe to do all his commandments, and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee, and overtake thee. So if you're going through it right now, man, deal with that shit. That's the Most High dealing with you. You know? So, yeah, man. Just gotta deal with your reality. All you Israelites, deal with your reality. With that, I'd like to say, Shalom.